Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times and
shenanigans.
This is Season 7, Episode 1. So welcome to the party. We are super, super excited. And we'll touch a little bit on it after our weekly recap and all of our stuff. Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. Where can they find us?
Anywhere. Look for us. Type in Fantastic Pains into Google. You'll find us.
True
we're
fact.
on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Audible. We're on Google Play. We're on all the podcast sites.
Everywhere.
Except for Apple, but, you know.
You can't
we've
escape
tried.
us.
I know how to fix it, though. So I'll probably get that done this week, too.
Hey, he's been on a roll.
I'm killing it.
We'll get there, though.
You can also join us on Discord if you want to talk to us or read what's going on or just get advice or lurk.
Yes.
It's good for everything.
You can also join us in our weekly lives that we do Friday evenings and Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Mountain time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mountain time.
Mountain time. It's not just like Saturday mornings, the whole morning for everybody, because that would be like 24 hours. That's not fun.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
She's rambling.
I am rambling. I'm excited. Season 7 is the crazy times. So, before we can tell you a little bit more about the birth of Season 7, we have to get through our time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Indeed. I'll go first.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I think I have to. My week was a week. It was a week. So on Monday, I think it was Monday. It was Monday. So on Monday, I was just in a lot of pain. My mouth was hurting me a lot. I had had a hole in my palate where bone was exposed for like a week at that point. And don't get on me. I know a week is too long, but EDS, it's fine. Whatever. Yeah. It wasn't going to kill me. It was fine. So I went to the dentist on Monday because they were like, we can squeeze you in. Just come in now. And I was like, cool. Got there. And they were like, ha, guess where you're going tomorrow? And I was like, what do you mean? You need to go see the surgeon because I can't help you. I was like, great, cool, fun. So I took the day and went to see the surgeon. And he was like, because all I wanted, because they were like talking about adding tissue.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, don't do that. Just file it down so that it can actually heal. Because my body kept treating it like a foreign body and trying to like get it out, but it was fused. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
So he cut open the entire site and took out a bunch of bone shards from like the outside and underneath, and then went in and shaved out the bad bone and like the sharp edges.
Yeah.
And then put a stitch in there. So that was super fun.
That's what you wanted.
Yeah.
Like when we were looking at it, I was like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then like right before you went, we were both like, there's nothing wrong with her. They're not going to find anything.
I was like, I don't know why I'm going. They're going to tell me to just wait and let it heal. And
yeah.
I was like, it's going to fall off again.
Right.
Because it came off like a blister top. Mm-hmm. Because it was so upset that there was bone there.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's what we thought it was.
Yeah.
And they did what we wanted them to do. Like,
yes.
Legit.
And they were just quick about it, and they understood EDS, and he was great. It was good stuff. Liked him a lot. And it was all covered by the previous payment. So
nice.
I didn't have to pay anything for it, which was great. And he was like, if it's not better in 2 weeks, come back here again. Yeah. And I was like, okay, sure.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever. And then work was just crazy. Oh, no. Right after that, I had therapy, and she was proud of me. Ugh. Gross, Jackie. Ew.
You'd been already receiving, you were receiving pre-residual like notes from me, like she's gonna be so happy that you did this, she's gonna love that you did this. Yeah. And then she was, and she did, and she was like, you've made a lot of like growth. That's a big change from what it was. And I was like, yeah, shush. Shut up about it, okay? But yeah, so had that done. The rest of the week was just crazy. Yeah, like work was insane. Nothing like super specific. No, it's bad physical days. Yeah. You were melting. Yeah. You were.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. It's POTS. POTS is like out to get us all for some reason. Because if I'm moving, I am in like I'm on fire, and if I am speaking animatedly, I am on fire. Mm-hmm. So I'm just overheating literally doing anything and everything. And I'm miserable and I don't know what the heck to do about it. So stay tuned to see if I figure that out or die trying.
I mean, it falls right into that, but whatever.
Exactly.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
I think so.
I didn't do anything this week.
Nothing happened.
I laid in bed. It was very calm, very peaceful. No, actually, let's see. We'll start at the end of the not podcast. We didn't make a podcast last week.
Yes.
As you guys have probably noted. There's a trailer for season 7. Go watch it if you haven't already. It's great.
Today and now.
Yeah, do it. Watch it again. It's great. Apparently. I hate it and I love it.
It's
like
wonderful.
I said, I love it and then I hate it and then I go back to loving it.
I really like it. It's good.
It's cute.
It's very cute.
Blech. Anyway. So we were supposed to shoot the podcast, but we ended up hanging out with Dorian.
Yep.
Which was good.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. Just trauma dumping on each other.
Right, exactly. Which is really what it is. Like, you just have to get it all out there and then not have somebody respond like, oh my God.
I got to hear his music.
Did you?
And I liked it.
Yeah.
It was, oh man, the one that he sent me, it had like the hardest drop. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was into it. Like, it'd be great boss music. Well done, Dorian.
Good.
Hell yeah.
He has the 80s.
And we've been messaging each other all week.
Good.
About Dokkan.
Of course you have.
Anytime we get a pull like something good, we'll send each other the picture of it and be like, I got it finally. Or
I love that.
We're like, still haven't gotten shit.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so we hung out with Dorian, and then we decided that would be the weekend that we set up for season 7.
Yes.
Which meant moving everything out of the studio office and moving everything from one room to another room.
Yes.
And dismantling everything and doing it in a certain order.
Right.
It was a mess.
Because we are in a new space. Because I don't know if you can tell, our shelves are a little different.
Yeah.
And there's no window.
There never was.
There never was a window.
Look. There's no window.
Not a window.
Told you. I know every week someone would ask us about the window.
Freaking out about, but there's no window there.
There's not.
It's fine.
Never was. Never can be. That's not true. We actually could put a window in there.
Into a different room.
Yeah.
Silly.
But we now have a giant space.
Yes.
We have an interview section and a what do you want to call it? Like a
lounge.
A lounge, yeah.
Yeah.
And a Randy section. It's basically Randy's area.
Yeah.
In my brain, it's like everything here over was us. Everything there over was for Randy. I even wanted to put a mini fridge in.
Oh,
Jen was like,
that would
don't
be
do
cool.
it. I was like, but I want to put the mini fridge in. That'd be great. He could put his stuff in it.
His stuff.
Like, he brings caffeinated drinks, bro. I pay attention.
I know, but he drinks them.
No, you don't. Anyway, so we started the move. Steph and Pedro from season 2, if anyone remembers back in the day, they were on. And they helped move everything. And by help, I mean they moved everything and I watched. And they let me move a shelf. And
they allowed
I took apart a table with them.
Under supervision.
Yeah, I was very strictly supervised. I was kind of shocked at how on it they were and how serious they were about it. Like, I can do some stuff, guys. I'm not
prepped
totally
and ready to
disabled.
go. There was a protocol in place.
There really was.
They were like, okay, so when he wants to move the thing, what are we gonna say?
They tried to put me to bed at 2:00. They're like, don't you want to go lay down?
Fair, we were sick.
Yes.
Last weekend.
Yes, very sick.
Because I didn't even come over on Sunday.
No.
Like I had planned on.
Right.
Because I was miserable and I was like, I have to go to work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And I was miserable and I was like, I can't do anything until I've done with the project.
Yeah.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
ADHD was my fixation for the week.
Yeah.
So we moved everything. They left, and then we had to do some remodeling, and our brother came over.
Yep.
And he framed it up in a day, and he drywalled it, and he's mudding it. It's almost completely done.
Yeah.
And
that was 5 hours.
Dude, if he had his own car, it would have been done on Monday.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that he didn't, because I got to spend every day with him, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And I got to watch him work and do stuff that he's good at, and he's actually really good at the thing. So
yeah.
And then what else happened this week? I can't really remember because a lot of things happened, but they were all in the background of me focused on this thing. Jen has a lot of drama going on. So justice for Jen.
Yeah. Well, and I had a lot of school stuff that happened. Yeah, that's Thursday. Thursday was a day.
Yeah.
That was a week crammed into one day. And it was very
the the next day was the next
lows.
week.
Yeah, exactly. And then Friday didn't feel like Friday, and it was just like it drug on forever. Yeah. And then I was overheated the whole time. So
yeah,
I'm just like, I'll just die. No, that's fine.
It was a brutal week. Like I definitely felt it, and I wasn't as a part of it as I wanted it to be.
Yes.
Like I got to help with the drywalling. That was fun. Yeah. So look at me.
And he sent me pictures and videos the whole week.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna compile them into like a behind the scenes type thing.
Good.
Also, weird random thought that I have to get out of my head. I've been trying to get it out. Doggo suggested we do Music Mondays for music reviews.
Mondays. Ooh.
So we could do some music reviews and post them on Mondays.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea.
We could definitely do that.
Right?
I like that. Yes.
We're in a better space to do it too.
I'm game for that. Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, we have more space and everything's kosher. It's just really nice in here.
It's so nice, and it stays cool, like really, really cool.
It'll go figure. We're in a bigger room, and we're gonna have more people in it, but it's gonna be colder than the tiny room with the like.
Well, and it doesn't take too long to cool off, and it's just it's lovely.
Yeah, so good things for the podcast.
Yes,
we're also working on some sponsorship deals, maybe, and maybe being affiliates for Amazon. So keep your eyes posted.
Yes.
Because that could help us with growth. And it's something you guys can do that you don't have to do extra things or spend extra money on than you normally would.
Yeah. No, if it's just something that you're like, I'm interested in trying that, or I already was, you can get it through us, help us out a little bit. And,
we'll let you know how to do that when I figure that all out this week. Yeah. That's on my to-do list.
He's ready to go.
Oh, man. Season 7. Okay, so season 7. What is season 7's motto? Because each one we've had, like, season 0 was season 1. Yeah. Like, and then we had the season of no rules.
Yep.
We could do whatever we want.
3
was stringent rules. Like
4 was like the season of growth.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And then 5.
I don't know.
5 was mini voices.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't.
And then 6 was last. We just got done with 6. I don't remember what it was.
6 was like.
Oh no! It was not being alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Yep.
This one's a lot different.
This one we call it the season of FAFO.
Yes, FAAFO.
So
we can say it. It's long enough into the video, and we're not going to say it more than once.
Yeah.
Cover your ears if you have delicate children in the room. Cover your ears and let the kids hear it.
Your ears.
It's just fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
And not in like a mess with me and I'll mess you up kind of way.
No.
And we're going to do things and see what happens.
Yes. Well, and that's kind of how the podcast has been from the start. We have this running log of jokes about the podcast made itself. The podcast leads the way. The podcast drives the show, and we just get to participate, which is really cool. But yes, the season of FAFO. Fuck around and find out. But yeah, the podcast has always kind of, we never put pressure on it.
Mm-mm.
And we've never felt pressure from it.
Right.
And the pressure that we have felt is pressure for like personal growth and follow through and learning, rather than like, we've got to make something that's going to be monetizable. It's got to be like catchy so that people are able to get into it.
Yeah,
it's right. We never wanted to do any of that. We really wanted it to be something that was super genuine, because this is the most us you'll ever see us.
True.
Which I really love. And I love that the podcast is able to give us the room to create something really cool.
Yeah. And it was just like growth time.
Yeah.
Everything lined up like always.
And it literally always does. It always does.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how it happens. It's like, we just wait. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now.
Yep.
Right now. And everything will be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this room turned out just how I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
It has all the functionality it needs.
Yep.
We're getting some really cool art that's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Can't wait to do interviews.
Oh my God. On a comfy space too. There's
yeah.
couches. Can you believe it? But
more than one.
Right. More than one couch. It's amazing. And we won't have to use 2 cameras.
We can though.
Way old times.
Oh, season 3 was hard.
In the back.
Season 3 was really hard. That took a lot out of me. Back when I was editing it every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Cutting it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my! It was horrible.
When
it was horrible.
Give us 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna kind of link from there. I don't know. So Was there more you wanted to say about
Oh,
FAFO?
yes. Well, not FAFO per se, but...
How FAFO came about?
Right. So, I was hanging out with Bug.
Yes.
And I was watching him work, and I was letting him take charge and do everything. And, like, I wasn't trying to micromanage him, and I wasn't, like... I didn't feel, like, offended that he was doing it for me. Mm-hmm. I'd let it just happen.
Yeah.
Like, with everything. We had tons of help. We had... all of, like, our families came together to help us make this happen,
which is just so cool.
Thank you guys. Really. Right. But he kept saying FAFO, like, just all the time to everyone else. He's like, anytime he'd make a mistake, he'd be like, FAFO, just FAFO. And and it got stuck in my head. But we were in checkout, and I was watching him do things. I was like, man, I really enjoy this. Like, I like spending time with him this way. I just wish I could do it in the way I used to.
Right.
Like, I used to do, like, full-on remodels and stuff with my father, and even alone I did a bit. Like, I loved it. Yeah. It's stuff that we're really good at for some reason. Yeah. But I never got to do it with him. So I was like admiring him and acknowledging my growth at the same time. Yeah. And then, I don't know, FAFO it popped into my head. Like, I was trying to come up with the season name.
Oh, and then I showed up and I said it. And
you said it.
Just like,
everybody's saying it.
What the heck?
Well, and it makes sense. Like, we're going to try things. And I've been trying things all week. Yeah. All week I was like, oh, I'll find out about this thing. Or I'll find out about this thing.
Right. Right. Well, and it's that whole, like, learning by doing. Learning through doing. Learning from, like, let's make mistakes and see what happens. Yeah. Let's throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. And have, like, the confidence to be able to do that.
That's true. I hadn't thought of it in that angle. Like, that takes a lot. That's a lot different than I would have done it a long time ago.
Can you imagine? Because how much did we agonize about just bringing in the Discord?
Oh, man. Discord. You're lucky you guys exist, because, my God. We put that one on the back burner for a while. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was scary. It was.
And we weren't ready. We didn't have that confidence to be able to be like, no, people want this.
Yeah.
And so now I don't know, we've had a lot of growth over the last 6 seasons. And the season of FAFO is going to be where we are really kind of trying on our legs.
I think so. It's, oh God, anime. No one's going to get this except for maybe Faye. But Faye will get it. It's One Piece. It's always One Piece with me right now because I've been on a kick. But there's like the 2 arcs, right? There's the first story arc where you get to know everybody and everyone finds out their limitations, and then the next arc is about them growing through them. And I feel like that's where we are on the growth arc.
There you go.
So
I love growth. Growth is fun now and not so like terrifying.
It's not scary.
Because it was terrifying. We were like, not the same thing. Like, how do we get comfortable with that?
Yeah.
But now it's a very easy thing, and I'm really excited to see where this kind of takes us and what it brings.
Same.
But then back to the other note. About
right. So what we're going to talk about today comes from that experience I had with my brother, where I let him do things. Yeah. And I was, like I said, I was acknowledging my own growth, and I was like, that's, I had a moment where I was like, I'm purposefully letting this happen, and I'm not being judged, and I'm not judging. Like,
right. There's no thought of being a burden.
Right. At least I like, especially with Bug.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt safe. I was like, he's not going to be like, oh, you're not, because I was watching him because I wanted to watch and see how he was doing. Like, I wasn't judging him, but if it was anyone else, I'd be worried that I'm not helping.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're just being lazy and sitting there.
Right.
Like, why didn't you help? And I did. I held drywall up. And I moved stuff around. And I did, when he wasn't looking, I did some stuff. But it's fine. He didn't see it, so it never happened.
Never happened.
I played with the mud a little bit. I was like, he went to the garage, and I was like, just don't tell him. And then some of the screw holes. No, it's fine. I didn't do anything bad. I didn't hurt myself.
He did a good job. He did a really good job.
I was sick, and I didn't overdo it.
Yeah.
And I didn't physically push myself.
Yep.
And I wasn't like a wreck emotionally about it.
Yeah. Which could have been really easy.
Any of those could have happened.
Right. Because before it would have been like one manic move.
Yes.
And then you would have paid for it for the next 2 weeks.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
What it would have been is I would have started it, and then a manic high would kick in, and I would have done everything alone, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I would have started on the wall, and overdone it physically.
Yeah.
And then I would have been on a manic low in my bedroom.
And then punishing himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been the full cycle. I've lived it many times. It would have been like my 50th time going around the wheel.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. But you avoided that spiral.
I did.
In a very like mature and active way.
It was weird.
Yeah. And we've both had that like weird growth in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Because my therapist being proud of me for my growth.
I was proud of you.
Blah. Yeah. Yeah.
Using those skills that you picked up and like handling it and then coming back and finishing, that was impressive.
Yeah. Like looping back around. No avoidance now, baby.
As we avoid like everything else.
I know. We're like, and no.
But what about this one thing? No, no, I'm not ready. Sorry.
I'm not going to do that. Thank you. But yeah, no, this is more about being able to, I liked how you put it yesterday with accept what you have to let go of.
Yes, accepting what you have to let go of. And that's because it's not like it's not something that's been taken away from you like we like to think of it.
Yeah.
It's accepting it and letting it go, which was like a moment. I had like emotions about it.
Yeah.
I was all like teared up. I was like, oh, look at that.
It's so easy when you're chronically ill to find new limitations and have that be like a back to start moment.
Yes.
And we've all, I think, had that happen where you do have that like, oh, I've made so much progress. I'm doing really well. I've adapted to my illness. And then something changes in a more permanent way. And we can just tear ourselves down because we're like, well, I'm not strong enough to overcome that one thing. So therefore, but now it's more, I don't know, we've matured quite a bit. And we're able to recognize those things and either recognize that there are accommodations that we can use to continue doing those things, or that there are ways to get around it in a safer, more healthy way, without the guilt.
There's no judgment from us. We're not beating ourselves up about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, example, kind of this is something Craig kind of touched on, but this is what it reminded me of when I was talking about the last thing that broke you.
Oh yeah.
So when you discover like a new limitation and you find out it's permanent, or at least permanent in it's not the next 3 weeks, it's probably the next 6 months kind of way.
Yeah.
So like I love editing. Editing is my jam.
Yeah. And
I can't sit at the computer for very long anymore. Except for I have a brand new amazing chair and it's extended my sit time.
Yeah.
Considerably. But now my hands are burned out.
Oh yeah.
Like it hurts so bad. They start like tensing up. And then you get like cramps and then God, the joints hurt. The joints have been killing me, man. It's been so bad. But
I dislocated this one so bad it was completely jagged to the side on Friday.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Like when I first found that limitation, it's been like a year. Yeah. Like it's been something I've been dealing with in the background.
Right.
Just being like, well, I can't be online all the time like I used to. I can't do all the editing in one go. I can't do the in-depth editing I want to do because it takes so long and I have to maintain a thought and it was upsetting, right? Like that was a loss. And it broke me for a bit because that's why the editing, there's like a series of episodes that are just really bland to me.
Yeah, with the
because I
editing.
couldn't.
Right.
And I was depressed, and so I didn't have the drive to like try and fix it.
Right.
You know, I took it hard.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, there's a way around this, or it's okay to come back to it.
Yeah.
Because I felt like making it last through the week was like a loss.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like getting it done by
like,
Friday
I have
was
to
like
cut off time on the ends.
Yeah.
And that it's very reminiscent of the times in which we thought of life as a full-blown battle between ourselves and our bodies.
Yeah.
When you were fighting your body every single day for the smallest things, just fighting to just get through and push through and do what you had to do without acknowledging that the body has limitations. And we at some point are going to have to honor those limitations.
Yep.
Or we get like knocked on our ass and it throws us off a lot. And I can remember like the last thing that broke me was the trigeminal neuralgia.
Oh yeah.
Because that was so like I'd made so much progress in general and I was proud of my progress and I was doing better. I was doing well for the most part.
Yeah.
My mental was like in fairly good shape. And then out of the blue, it was like lightning struck.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I couldn't function. Like I literally just couldn't function.
Yeah.
And then this time around, when I went to get the official accommodations, there was no breakage there.
Right.
Which is different. Because for me, not being able to like pull my weight is a big shame target for my brain.
I lived that for years.
There you go. You need to make money. You need to pull your weight. You need to be good at your job.
Yep.
You need to be on top of paperwork. You need to
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't. I mean, I could. I was doing it.
But it was taking too much.
And it was taking too much because literally I wasn't a person outside of work hours. I couldn't pull it together.
Yeah.
Because I was just so exhausted. But the accommodations have made such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Like I'm still exhausted and I'm still massively overheated every single day. But that small change, and it's an hour adjustment. So I get a half hour in the morning and a half hour in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. It made a huge difference. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's enough.
Well, and like the chair for me, that's like an accommodation on my end. I went and spent some money. Like it wasn't a cheap chair.
Right.
But my God, it made a huge difference. Like being able to sit there and not be in pain. Because that's what it would always get to me. I'd be sitting there and then I'd be like, why am I sweating so hard? I'd be like, oh, I'm in a ton of pain right now.
Yep.
And I can't keep doing this. I got to go like stretch out, decompress. Yeah. Like take
let all the muscles
a couple hours to calm down, and then I could get back. Mm-hmm. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was so harsh on myself about it.
Yeah.
Because like the editing was everything, you know?
Right. Well, because it's your baby. Mm-hmm. And like work for me, like I have a really high work ethic in general and have worked really hard everywhere I've been since I started working. And so work was this like, I'm chronically ill and I am working 40 hours a week and or more. And then I have the podcast on the side, which is like its own like 2-day job.
Yeah.
But this time around, it didn't break me.
No.
To have to do the accommodations. And it didn't feel like I have to. It didn't feel like, because you know that feeling when you feel very much that your body is forcing you
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're being like backed into a corner and you have to.
Exactly.
You have to yield to the body. You have to surrender or lose that battle.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not a battle.
No, it's not.
Which is so nice.
It's weird to be like, it's the exact feeling I was talking about. It's that like you made the choice to do this.
Right.
It wasn't something forced into you.
Yeah.
You're like, I can see this coming and I can avoid things.
Right.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And everyone else is okay with it.
Yeah.
Like your work, you didn't think it would be that easy to get the accommodations.
No,
you were ready for a battle. Like you had all the steps ready.
Oh yeah. I really thought it was going to be a battle.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to need doctor's notes. But it was literally just like, I can't.
Right.
I am disabled and I can't. And I need a little help to do.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Reasonable accommodations.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's that like being cool with it. And I don't know.
Being an active participant in it.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's not like passively losing things. It's
not
actively
even like
preparing.
Losing. It's like being proactive in it.
Right.
Versus like, even if you were not participating, things would happen around you. Like people, at least in my case, people would make accommodations for me without me knowing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we'll just include this, and this into the whatever we're doing because of Chris. And that bothers me.
That makes me mad too.
Right.
I'm like, stop, go away.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
But it's being, that's like a passive thing that's happening to you.
Right.
But being able to participate and like be like, well, actually, I could do this, and this.
Right.
Like I'm good for these things, and I can do this.
It's not all or nothing.
Yeah.
Because it feels that way sometimes. Where you're like, if I can't meet this standard that I met 10 years ago, then I am bad, and I have failed, and I'm falling apart, and there's no hope for me at all, and I should just go lay on the ground until it rains and I drown. I don't know. In a puddle.
Little baby puddle.
But yeah, now it's that like active.
Sorry, I just imagine myself face down. Like, just move your head a little bit. It's like that.
Yeah. But now it is very much an active choice.
Yeah.
And it's not all or nothing, and we can like focus and hone in on what we can do.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at the things that we can't, or new limits that are being drawn, because EDS is progressive.
Yeah.
It progresses and things get harder.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. Like, when people just assume you can't do things. Mm-hmm. When I was doing all of this, I would do things and people would ask if I'm okay to do it, but they wouldn't be like on me about it.
Yeah.
Like, are you okay? Like, is it cool? Are you good?
Yeah.
And they trusted me to be like, no, yeah, I'm good. I can do this. Like, I can hang drywall with you. I can move a light shelf. Like, I'm not going to hurt myself.
Right.
I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna.
But I'm not
manic.
Gonna.
I'm not gonna go lift all the books. Like, when I moved those shelves in that room, I didn't take anything off the shelves. I know, you told me. I just slid them.
Like, I mean, I've done it. I moved a washer and a dryer by myself because my husband told me to wait till he got home to do it. That happened.
Yeah. I was furious when they took the books off the shelf. I was like, what are you doing? Like, it's heavy. Like, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm glad you get it. Like, I was worried I would be able to convey the, like,
yeah, no, I get it.
The feeling and the intent.
Yeah, and then you have on the other side that weird pride because you were able to do that.
You're right. I'm not like taken aback anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't believe I did that. And I have to cover it with sarcasm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fine, I guess I'll let you help me.
Right. Well, it's the self-talk thing. Like, that's how we learned to give positive self-talk, was to fake the positive self-talk until it was real. Yes, exactly.
You just had to say it. And that's a huge thing. You really just have to say it. Even if you don't believe it, you say it until you believe it.
Right. Until you finally are proud and you believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, it'll happen. You'll do a thing and be like, oh, actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the same way we do everything now, which is through the podcast, we have learned that if we don't have enough data, we wait, right? We wait. It's not that we're ignoring it. It's not that we're pushing it down. It's not that we're like trying to avoid it.
Right.
It's that we don't have enough information to make a decision or to act on something.
Right.
And so we wait until
instead of like stressing,
start to kind of align. Yeah.
Like, once you start applying things like deadlines or like, you know what I mean? Like, anything that pressures you, then it's a stressful thing. And it's not what we want.
Right.
Like, the whole point is to let it happen.
Yeah.
And it does. It evolves and grows on its own.
Very much.
And it's not stressful.
Yeah.
Like, we could easily turn this into like a scary, stressful thing.
I don't want to do that.
Where I'm like, okay, I need you to come over for 3 hours after school so that we can go over the paperwork that I'm signing up for, so that we can have gym memberships, so that we could do the vlogs on Thursdays. But on Tuesdays, we got to do the cooking show. But we got to do the cooking show in the morning because I need the sunlight. So I need you to not go to work for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah. But I think it's that genuine nature of it.
Yeah.
And it helps it remain genuine for us as much as it remains genuine for you guys who are watching or listening. And you get to really understand where we are in the world without us feeling like we have to mask in some way.
Yeah.
Which is crazy and different. And
anytime we talk about stuff like that, I think back to season 1 and I'm like, we thought we weren't masking then.
Yeah.
Bro, you were delusional. What were you talking about?
And then people were like, hi, you're crazy and I like it. And we were like, bet we got this. Hold my hat. I'm gonna go be genuine now.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's different. It's very different. And there's less fear involved. No, it's more just that we're like, we can trust that tomorrow comes. So things change, things get different. Time passes no matter what crisis we're in at the time.
Yep.
That won't be a forever crisis, and we are comfortable in that knowledge. And even within that, we still are making room for there to be grief.
Yeah.
Because there is a grieving process.
An example of that, on Monday. So we're talking like after moving stuff, and I was feeling sick still. Like, I was feeling absolutely butts all day. And I was like, time isn't moving. There's nothing to do. I was in my room and I was just complaining out loud to Jen about it.
Yeah.
Like, just to get it out. And then I flopped down onto the bed. And then I'm like, oh, this is horrible. And I messaged you. And I was like, this is forever. And then I was like, I know it's not forever, but this is forever.
Right.
And then Rin walks into the room, and I just complain at her for a bit. Uh-huh. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. and then Jen decided to throw me my meds, and I backhanded them out of the midair into the TV and almost broke the TV. Yeah. Also, I broke her monitor with a bottle. Don't ask. It was a new monitor. I just bought it for her.
Yeah.
And she broke it. She broke it, not me. If her head was in the way, it wouldn't have happened. I wasn't throwing it at her, okay? I was slamming it down on the bed, but I used left-handed anger because the TikTok said if you use left-handed anger, you won't make it go that far. But it was wrong. It went really far, and it hit the monitor.
And broke it.
That's a whole story.
Kaboom.
But it was there was grieving in that. I was verbally going through the motions,
right,
so that I could like process it, and not be in it forever.
Right.
And afterwards, I felt great. Like I was able to take a nap. Like I took like a 30-minute nap, and I woke up and I was like, "All right, I got this. We're good."
Well, and
still
I had
felt like butts, but
trigeminal neuralgia last night.
Dude,
like bad.
It was so bad.
One of the worst episodes I've had since like remission has disappeared. I don't know what's happening anymore, but it was bad, and it's threatening today. Like I can feel it kind of slithering around. Evan, the face snake, trigeminal neuralgia. Hate it, but now it's not something that's like wrecking me.
Yeah, because
what do I know? I know that neurology doesn't want to help me and cannot help me or cannot help me.
Right.
And that I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Right.
I'm just gonna have to figure it out, no matter how unfair that feels. But I can still grieve it because it does feel unfair.
Really, what you want to do. If I'm reading you right, I don't want to misspeak. Okay. But it sounds like you want to fuck around and then find out.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I think I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think
that's a new concept.
We can do that. It'll be fine. But that's exactly it. It'll be fine because we know tomorrow comes. The sun still rises. The rain clouds clear. That things are always in flux.
Yes.
And I get how that can be scary for somebody, but for us, it's
comforting.
It's so comforting. Yeah. There's something so comforting about knowing that what you're going through is not forever. Yeah. And knowing that whatever pain you're in is not forever, because this is EDS and pain likes to take turns just cyclically. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's not forever. And if we can remember that, we can keep our cool throughout and then honor our emotions and then honor our goals and then make adjustments and accommodations and actively look for solutions. Yeah.
It's nice to be able to not be shut down by everything.
Right.
And even if it's just yourself shutting yourself down. But it's like before, if I encountered things like this, even before the podcast, I would have just stopped. Like we didn't think the podcast would last because I was like, I don't think I can do this every week. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
I was wrong. I mean, look at us go. I did a whole remodel for it.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It looks amazing too.
She's in love with it. And I hate it. It's
so
stupid.
Happy.
And it looks dumb.
It's amazing.
I love it.
But that's the thing is like podcast goes, hey, it's time to shed the shell and find a new one.
Yeah.
We got stuff to do. And we're like, okay, cool. Let's do stuff. It's time to do stuff. So we're not gonna do a midway point.
No.
Because we're dying.
Yep.
Life is pain, and anyone telling you otherwise is selling you something. So we're gonna listen to our bodies and acquiesce to the request.
Wow.
I'm going cinephile here.
She is. Tarantino next. Tarantino, come on.
I don't know enough. So yeah, we're gonna call it here. But I hope that this has been an interesting conversation for you.
Yeah.
And if it has, if you found value, please like, share, subscribe, and feel free to join us on Patreon and or on our Discord. Yep. We'd love to hear from you, and we're always excited to read comments. So make sure you drop one in below this video.
Please.
Do it. But with that said, be kind to you, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye forever.
Goodbye.
Not forever. I didn't mean it. Season 7.
For now.
It can't be season 7-1 end.
Season 7-1, and that was it. They were both murdered that day by their own flesh.